Hey, it's 5.3, Step 3, Noteworthy Information. We're talking about paraphrasing in this video instead of what is noteworthy evidence. And so in your assignments, your notes assignment, we have talked about sources, and hopefully you've linked 3 different articles. We also have talked about noteworthy information, and hopefully you have found some now. But we have to talk about the last column. We have to talk about paraphrasing. What does it mean to paraphrase, and what are we expecting you guys to do in this last column? So, paraphrase, don't plagiarize. Plagiarize is cheating and it doesn't work. I'm going to give you a better definition in a sec. There are harsh consequences for plagiarizing, so it's really important to stop doing it and to understand the difference between paraphrasing and plagiarizing. All right, so what is the definition? It's taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as your own. And there are serious consequences. There's no credit for this assignment if you don't cite your sources, if you don't paraphrase instead of plagiarize. In the future, you could lose a scholarship for doing something like that in a class. You could lose a credit for a course. You could lose your placement in your school or jobs, and it happens all of the time. There are also legal consequences. So avoid plagiarizing. Let's talk about what this means. Paraphrasing is what we want to do instead of plagiarizing. And paraphrasing is using your own words to say the same information. So later on, you're going to cite your source, and we'll talk about that, but we don't have to worry about it right this second. Right this second, what we have to worry about is putting your good, noteworthy information into your own words. But you don't want to change the meaning. You want to still say the exact same thing, just not in the exact same way. So here are some tips for you. Keep the facts, the numbers, the names, and the key phrases of the original noteworthy evidence that you copied and pasted into the middle column in your notes assignment. Look up words that are unfamiliar and use a more familiar word instead. So if there are some tricky words in that noteworthy evidence, make sure you look them up, because your teacher's going to ask you what it means. Because if they're your own words, you will know what it means. Make sure you understand the original information. If you don't understand it, ask for help. That's what we're here for. And use academic language. So it should be language that's not slang, that's standard English and academic, but it doesn't have to be really difficult words that you don't know and that you wouldn't use. All right, so let's look at an example. Here's our topic, gun control. Here is a piece of good evidence, and it's getting old, but we could still use it. It's 10 years old. A Mother Jones investigation. Now, what the heck is Mother Jones? It's just the name of a research group. That's why it's capitalized. Found that high-capacity magazines were used in at least 50% of the 62 mass shootings between 1982 and 2012. When high-capacity magazines were used in mass shootings, the death rate rose 63% and the injury rate rose 156%. So this is great evidence. It supports, it elaborates, it explains, it proves. We have specific research institute. We have specific statistics. The years are included. More statistics here. And it's labeled exactly, and it's going to prove a point about, high-capacity magazines and how they're not good. So we want all that good information in our paraphrased note, but we can't say it exactly the same way. So what do? Well, here's an example. A survey by Mother Jones. So instead of saying a Mother Jones investigation, a survey by Mother Jones determined instead of found that. And here I changed the order of the words. 50% of the 62 mass shootings between 1982 and 2012 used high-capacity magazines instead of high-capacity magazines were used in at least. You can see how those were just switcherooed around. And that when they were used, the death rates and injury rates rose by 63 and 156%. So I changed how this part reads as well by moving the order around and changing some of the words. But it means the same thing. I haven't changed the meaning at all. It includes the same good, noteworthy evidence as the left. Those are all the things that are highlighted in yellow. And it makes sense. All right, what you don't want to do is you don't want to turn your note into a summary. Because once you summarize it, it's no longer supporting, explaining, and proving. It's not specific enough. So we have the same good evidence here, and here is a summary. High-capacity magazines were used in a lot of most massive shootings, and they should be banned. High-capacity magazines will turn a regular shooting into a massive shooting. We don't want to summarize because we've lost these good details that makes the note noteworthy in the first place. All right, so we want to do this. We want to keep all the good details, and that way you're going to score high on your criterion A, where your information on your notes is clear, focused, and compelling. All of your notes, it's going to let you score high on criterion A. This is how I'm grading. All the information is clear, focused, and compelling. Noteworthy evidence explains, proves, elaborates, and supports. And all notes include facts, statistics, examples, or quotes from experts about your topic. You'll also be graded on paraphrasing, so how well you paraphrase. The paraphrase notes always capture the meaning of the original text. It's in your own words, and it's always in academic English, not slang. All right, so paraphrase, don't summarize, and good luck to you as you work on these notes.